Guys, I know usually when I make a video, I always come with a specific topic that God gives me to talk about or discuss. But I don't really have that today. I just want to invite you guys into my thoughts. I think a lot. I think about God a lot. Sometimes I'm an overthinker. But I was thinking while I was sitting at my desk at work, on Sunday, my children and I, we do watch The Chosen. I don't know if you guys watch the show The Chosen, if you're a fan of it or not, but I am. I do love it. I love how they just show the humanity side of Jesus, and I love the fact, it just warms my heart that my kids actually enjoys it and they ask to watch it. But we were watching it this past Sunday, and if if you're a viewer, then you know that we're in season 5, and season 5 is the Garden of Gethsemane moment where we know where we are in Jesus' story, right? We know we're leading up to his crucifixion. And so the season does end with the betrayal of the kiss of betrayal from Judas. And so we know what season 6 will entail. And so I was in a place, my kids, they don't watch all seasons, where I'm just like, well, I'm not sure, if I will allow them to watch all of season 6, because honestly, I'm not sure if they're ready to see it. And then God just had to remind me of when I first saw it. They've seen like animations of it, but we know that The Chosen is like the real thing, and God reminded me of when I first saw it in the Passion of Christ and how it touched me. And I remember just on the floor, just bawling and crying. It just, God, Jesus, this man did this for me. Like, he went through all of this just for me. And I was just thinking, I said, God, I never want to lose that sensitivity. I never want to look at the cross and forget the fact that that could have been me, that should have been you or me. But instead, someone who was so undeserving chose to be in that place, to take my sin and take it up on that cross so I would not have to. And I say, you know what, God, I do want my kids to experience that. They're old enough to see it. If they hear about everything else on TikTok and everything else, on social media, they definitely need to see this. Because I know for me, I carried that for days. That stuck in my mind, and so I want them to carry that same sensitivity, that same adoration for Jesus that I had. That was the moment where I said, seeing it, having a visual of it is different from actually just reading about it. But having a visual of it, of exactly what he endured and everything that he went through, it gives you a different perspective, and it deepens your relationship with him. It gives you a deeper understanding as to what he actually went through. He didn't just die, he didn't just stop breathing and croaked over. No, this is what happened to him. This is what they did to him, and he allowed it to happen. He chose to do this for you. So I didn't really have a message, but as I'm speaking, God is saying that we just need to stay close to the cross. Stay close to the cross. Never lose your sensitivity. Get back to when you first fell in love with Jesus. Because that moment for me, when I watched the Passion of Christ, it deepened my love. That's when I first fell in love with him. Once I got a visual and a better understanding of what he endured. He didn't just die. No, he was beat. He was stabbed. He was humiliated. He was spit on. His flesh was torn just for me and also for you. So stay close to the cross. Get back to your place of compassion when you first fell in love with Jesus. A lot of us have lost that. That's why we don't have passion for people, because we've lost our compassion for Jesus and his sacrifice and what he did. But that's all I have for y'all today. I didn't have nothing coming on, but that's the message that God gave me. But I will talk to you guys soon.